So back in the day, when I was a kid, I was living a pretty carefree life. I didn't have any real responsibilities or worries. And because of that, my main priority was maximize the amount of fun I was having in the shortest period of time. When that is your priority, a lot of things fall by the wayside, like opportunities to develop your discipline and pretty critical skills down the future. One of those skills being, well, time management, socialization, even. So fast forward about a decade in the future, and here I am now in the present moment, looking back on my teens and 20s and just realizing how much time I've actually wasted, how many opportunities I've completely squandered, and the potential skills I could have developed. So now I find myself in a position where I'm about to turn 27, and a lot of this pretty crucial fundamental development needs to be done in the latter years of my 20s. Or maybe that's just some artificial pressure that I'm putting upon myself. You know, I feel like I want to be at least somewhat of a competent adult by the time I'm 30 years old. That would be nice, right? And, you know, to give myself credit, I've made some pretty good progress. I've held down 2 jobs so far while developing a YouTube channel and building a pretty amazing community of people so far. However, there's still a lot to learn. Still a lot that needs to be done. And I would be completely lying to you if I said I have completely mastered the art of time management and making priorities. I'm a stubborn bastard. I've said this many, many, many times. And I will continue saying it because the odds are it's just going to be the case for pretty much the rest of my life. When you're developing priorities, what I have learned is that sometimes you have to put the things you need to do above the things that you want to do. And that is simply annoying. Another thing, skill acquisition and skill development. So it obviously takes time to develop skills. And there are a lot of skills to be developed. Something that we have to face as we grow older is, or something that we sacrifice is, how does Jordan Peterson say it? Pluripotentiality. Pluripotentiality is, as a kid, as a child, all you are is potential. You are potential energy. As you grow older and you learn how to speak, you learn how to walk, you learn all these different skills, you learn how to read, yada, yada, yada. You become slowly more and more and more and more and more and more and more refined. Eventually, you hit a point where you have to condense yourself down to the most specialized version of yourself, which means you have to pick one road and stick with it. And you have to sacrifice going down pretty much every other road. Because, and this is all pretty much from Jordan Peterson. So Jordan Peterson says that, I mean, it's not physically possible to go in 2 different directions at one time, right? Now, obviously, the discussion of skill acquisition is a little bit different. It is possible to learn multiple skills simultaneously. However, I was reading some studies. Thanks to ChatGPT, what an amazing resource. I was reading some studies, and I think the general consensus is you can't really learn more than 4 or 5 skills simultaneously without a significant drop-off at retention, which is pretty much the most important thing, right? Like retaining information, retaining the skills, the muscle memory that you're trying to build. I have many visions. I have a lot of things that I want to be simultaneously. The problem I'm struggling with is that there simply isn't enough time. There's not enough time in the world for me to expedite the process of becoming the version of myself that I want to be. Because the version of myself that I want to be just has all these different skills. I'm saying this now as a 27-year-old. I have plenty of time to develop these skills. You know, hopefully, right? You're not guaranteed tomorrow. I could go to sleep and not wake up in the morning. It's always possible. But theoretically, on paper, I'm really bad at math. Potentially 50 years left of my life. 50 years. That's a lot. I guess it's relative, right? It's a lot, and it's essentially nothing simultaneously. It's big and it's small. Life kind of works like that on a continuum, like fractals. I'm reluctant to sacrifice all of the things that I possibly could be, because I want to be as multifaceted of a person as possible. This is something that I've already realized, but it's something that I'm thinking about more and more as I approach 30 years old, is just really coming to grips with how much time that I've wasted. And it is wasting time, right? There's a lot of people out there who will try to make the argument that, you know, video games can be useful. You're developing your hand-eye coordination. No, you're wasting your time. That's all it is. And I can't even entirely blame you, because life is difficult. But would you rather... I believe that you would rather just sharpen yourself now, develop yourself, sharpen yourself against the adversity of life, rather than stay safe and soft and pudgy and useless, that when you're thrown into life, you don't get immediately slaughtered. That's the path that a lot of people are taking, is choosing the easier, softer way, staying soft, staying weak, that by the time they're supposed to be independent, they are immediately getting slaughtered by life. And I didn't have a particularly easy time in my 20s. I don't think anyone has a particularly easy time in their 20s. But going from useless idiot teenager who's just playing his video games all day, doing nothing worthwhile with his time, to adult in the real world, it's a pretty rough transition. And let me be clear, I don't blame anyone but myself for that. Because I had so many opportunities to develop myself. I had so many opportunities to become a more social person. I had the opportunities to develop so many different skills that I just didn't take, because I don't really know why. Because the easier path was to stay at home and play video games. Anyway, this one's been kind of a ramble, so this is going to be it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.